Adam Voges in his first championship innings for Middlesex and John Simpson combined to dig their side out of a big hole after Warwickshire's Chopra have put his team in complete control with another double hundred on the second day of the LV County Championship clash at Uxbridge. Chopra began the second day on 141 out of his side's 269 for 2, a score which soon became 281 for 3 when Javid nicked Collymore behind to the diving Simpson in the morning 6th over. Chopra then moved to his 150, something he's making a habit of once he gets to three figures. He'd now been at the crease for nearly 7 hours, in which he'd faced 308 balls, from which he'd struck 17 fours. The better news for Middlesex was that Collymore was fit to bowl, although the same could not be said of Toby Rowland-Jones after both men picked up injuries on the first day. Still, it didn't seem to matter who had the ball in their hands on this batting-friendly surface. This was akin to the Warwickshire side of last summer when they won the title, in part by building big scores in their first innings, grinding their opposition down as they did so. They were also able to add impetus to their innings when required, with the likes of Tim Ambrose coming in with a heap of runs already on the scoreboard. He was doing that exact thing here, playing some cracking shots, especially off Ravi Patel, who was struck for 3 fours in an over as Ambrose raced through the 40s. That took him to his 50 off only 58 balls, with this perfect drive bringing him his 9th boundary. It was just the innings his side needed from him as he helped add a further 100 runs in 25 overs with Chopra, who was happy for the most part to stay in the same gear. Ambrose fell for 60 with a total on 381 for 4, for once his drive not finding the gap but landing instead in the hands of David Milan in the covers. It was now a case of Chopra batting on while the rest played their shots around him. Chris Woakes began the afternoon session by driving Patel back over his head for a 6. And then Chopra made it to a double hundred yet again. A couple of summers ago he began the season with back-to-back doubles and he's never looked back since then. It was a monumental effort in the searing heat from the 26-year-old. He recently missed out of the magic number, making 192 versus Surrey, but this time he got there off exactly 400 deliveries. That was the 14th double ton in the championship this summer, and Chopra wasn't done yet, although he left the majority of the scoring now to those at the other end, including Woakes. The England man fell for 34 when he was pouched by Rayner, who pulled off a stunning catch to leave Warwickshire on 447 for 5. Ricky Clarke then had a bit of a blast, twice driving Rayner over the top for 6s to show that the declaration was not far away. Probably something this weary Middlesex attack were looking forward to. Spending 150 overs in this heat cannot be too much fun. That declaration came shortly after Clarke sliced a hit off Collymore out to Voges. Chopra ended unbeaten on 228, matching his previous best championship score and only 5 short of his career best. He was also only 14 shy of becoming the first man to 1,000 runs this summer. Warwickshire ended on 486 for 6, with Chopra's innings being the longest in terms of balls faced this summer. He survived 428 of them, and that meant that Middlesex's initial target was to get to 337 to avoid the follow-on. Now on this pitch that wasn't going to be too tough an ask, was it? Think again as Keith Barker and Chris Wright ripped out the top order in a matter of minutes. First out with a total on 24 was Milan, who edged Barker low down to Jitan Patel, who then claimed another catch just 4 balls later as Joe Denley went for 4 at 28 for 2. Then 2 more wickets fell in the next over, delivered by Wright. Sam Robson gave Patel his 3rd catch in the space of 8 balls, and a 4th wicket in 9 fell next delivery as Neil Dexter got a feather behind to go for a golden. It was almost beyond belief, but it just shows how tough batting can be after spending such a long time out in the field. Middlesex were blown apart and had lost 4 wickets for 4 runs to now find themselves on 28 for 4, a massive 458 runs behind, and it was now going to take something equally remarkable in the day's final session for the home side to have any chance of keeping themselves in this contest. Yet that's just what they did thanks to Voges and Simpson. They would have been aware that once the hardness went off the ball that batting would become a lot easier. As yet the pitch has shown no signs at all of deterioration and the spinners have been fairly quiet, even though they have got through plenty of overs. Voges certainly didn't let Patel settle, and this boundary, his 8th, took the Australian to his 50, a much needed one for his team of course, and one which had used up only 70 balls just to show that he hadn't let the Warwickshire attack get one over on him. Neither did Simpson, who batted at a similar rate. Twice the visitors thought they got him out, first when Boyd Rankin struck him on the pads, and second when Patel's much quicker delivery did likewise. Middlesex were mightily relieved that neither were given out. And that allowed Simpson to record his important half-century. His had come off 86 balls from which he'd hit 9 fours, but such stats were rather meaningless. The only thing that mattered was that this pair did not let Warwickshire back in before the end of the day. Again, they thought they were close, with a huge appeal going up for a bat pad catch at silly point off Patel, but the umpire was again not interested, and Voges survived. And he was able to stay until the close too, producing some lovely shots as the shadows just began to lengthen at the end of another glorious summer's day just outside of the capital. When stumps were drawn, these two had taken their 5th wicket partnership to 149. So that means that Middlesex will go again on 177 for 4, still with a lot of work to do to avoid that follow-on. Indeed, they require a further 160 runs in order to do that. But with Voges on 81 and Simpson on 50, the home side will feel a lot more confident than they did before tea.